it's Bree. Welcome to A Dose of Reality. It's Wednesday, so y'all know what that means. It's time for me to throw some wisdom your way, and let's just get into it because today's Wisdom Wednesday is going to be another insight into the way my mind works. I enjoy these videos. I hope you guys enjoy these videos. If you don't, let me know. So today's Wisdom Wednesday video is going to be 15 things that people with MG, or basically any chronic illness, have heard that we're kind of sick of hearing. And I've heard 14 of these 15 in my lifetime, and I'm going to give you my kind of rebuttal instead of the articles. So let's just dive in. The first one is, I know exactly what you're going through. Unless you have it, unless you've been through it, no, you don't. And quite honestly, no, even still, no, you don't, because I know many people now with MG, and I don't know exactly what they're going through because no two cases are exactly alike. It's just like no two cases of a cold are alike, no two cases of the flu are alike, you know, no two cases of anything are alike. Even identical twins are not exactly alike. So no, you don't know exactly what I'm going through. Yes, this video might get a little ranty at times. Sorry, not sorry. Number 2, nobody could ever love you with this disease. Yes, someone said this to me once, and I have a lot of people in my life that love me, that care about me, so I'm not really worried about this. The other variation to this that I heard was, why would someone want to take care of you? Why would somebody want to love you? Why would somebody want to take care of you? Just this, along the same lines, when you get sick, when you get a cold, when you get the flu, you need to be taken care of. I have good days, I have bad days. I'm very independent. And I'm very thankful for that. Not everyone with MG can be very independent, but I can be. So the same thing goes when I have a bad day. Yeah, sometimes I might need to be taken care of. I might need somebody to help me out, bring stuff to me. You know, I might need to rest more often than not on those days. But most of the time, I'm fine. You know, I'm very independent. So that, I think, is a product of fear and people not knowing about, you know, my MG and things like that. So that's a product of fear with a lot of things. The same thing, if somebody gets cancer, you're not just going to suddenly stop loving your loved one if they, you know, have cancer. You're not going to stop loving them. It's the same thing. You just need to be more positive. This video, of course, is, like I said, it's a little ranty, but for the most part, I'm a very positive person. I look at life and I look at everything as it could be so much worse. Everything could be so much worse. So for someone to say to me, well, you just need to be more positive, I laugh when they say that, because yeah, everything could be so much worse, and having a positive attitude has a wonderful impact on everything. But when you're facing something that is as debilitating some days as MG is, and like I said, I know this is not the most debilitating thing in the face of the planet, but when you are facing something like this, telling me to be positive, that's like telling someone who is depressed, stop being depressed. Okay, let me flip that switch. Let me just flip a switch. Let me just do that for you. It doesn't work that way. You know, I can be as positive as I want. It's not going to change anything. It's not going to make it, you know, anything any different for anybody. It's not that bad. Yeah, it kind of is. I mean, your brain is telling your muscles to overfunction, and they get tired and they get weak. You know, I mean, there's a lot more to it. It deals with acetylcholine production and things like that. I could get into the science of it. I actually did get into the science of it with somebody at work yesterday. But, you know, your muscles are chronically fatigued. Sometimes you have trouble standing. Sometimes you have trouble swallowing. Sometimes you have trouble speaking. Sometimes you choke on your own saliva. But it's really not that bad. I'm making a joke. I mean, sometimes it really isn't that bad, but, you know, other times it kind of is. You need to get over this. Again, that's like telling someone with depression, you need to just stop being depressed. You don't look that sick. Well, no, I don't. But, you know, you're not going to walk up to someone who might have, you know, diabetes or something else and be like, oh, you don't look sick. Rude? Rude much? Like, just because I don't look sick doesn't mean I'm not sick. Just because, you know, doesn't mean you can't have a good day every now and again. Happens. Just drink water, eat yogurt if you're battling, if you're having a bad day or whatever. Again, yeah, dietary changes, they can be really great. They can help you out a lot. And sometimes people say these things and like, they have the best of intentions in mind, but it's not gonna change it. It's not. Trust me, if it was gonna cure me, I would do it in a heartbeat. It's not gonna cure it. And if it was gonna cure me, I think my doctor would have directed me that way already a long time ago. Like when I was 7 and they first tried to diagnose me. But that didn't happen. You need to get out more. That whole thing about being chronically tired, while it would probably help me feel better in my own mind, feel better, yes, it would make me feel better if I got out more. And I want to get out more sometimes. But if I'm having a bad day, it's not going to happen. I can't. Physically, I can't. You know, I am so tired, I can't. So telling me I need to get out more is only just causing the problem to get worse, because now I'm beating myself down emotionally that, you know, you're making it worse. That was number 8. Number 9, it must be nice to sleep so much and have everyone run around after you. No, it's really not. Like I said, I have more good days than bad days, but when I have those bad days, I feel absolutely lazy. I don't like that feeling at all. I like to be productive. I like to be busy. I don't like laying around and doing nothing. I don't like people waiting on me. I don't like making people feel inconvenienced. Nobody likes that. Maybe not nobody, but we don't like that. Most people with MG, most people with chronic illnesses, we don't take pleasure in people taking care of us. We don't do that. We don't. I don't try to speak for everybody, but the vast majority of us, we're not sitting around ringing a little bell saying, can I get a glass of water over here? Oh, by the way, I need a pillow. Like, we're not princesses sitting on our throne. That's not what we think. That's not what we're doing. If you exercised more, you'd get fitter and you'd feel better. Well, there's some validity to the fact that exercise can make you feel better. But again, if you're chronically fatigued, exercise is not going to help that situation. That's actually going to hurt and cause possible further damage. So yes, when I feel good, I will exercise more, and mentally I feel great. It makes me feel so good mentally, emotionally, psychologically. It provides a lot of great effects for me. However, muscle strength, it does strengthen those muscles so they don't fatigue as quickly after the fact. But if I'm having a bad day, I can't just force myself to get up and work out. It doesn't work that way. It just doesn't. I wish it did. You're just having a bad day. Again, there's some validity to this. There's some validity to it. Yeah, I classify when I'm really fatigued as a bad day. It's a bad day. Tomorrow's probably going to be better, but when I have a bad day, it means I need to come home and I need to rest. That might mean I need to lay down and take a 2-hour nap. It might mean when I get home, I might need to sleep the rest of the night into the next day. It just depends. Yeah, that's a bad day. All right, so the camera overheated, but we're just going to get right back into it. I was saying, you know, we might be having a bad day. We might be having a normal day. But it's not for you to judge what kind of day I'm having. If I'm tired, I'll let you know. That's it. It's all in your head. Technically, yes, it starts in my head because it's neuromuscular. So it starts in my head, but it's not in my head. I'm not a hypochondriac. I'm not just imagining that all this is happening to me. This is something that is legitimate. It's scary, and it's really happening. The article makes a really good point here. Do you really think that anyone would want to go through any of this? Do you think I would make this up? You know, I don't want this. I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy, to be perfectly honest with you. I would not wish this on my worst enemy. But I take it in stride, and I live with it every single day. And I put a smile on my face because it's my life. And quite honestly, I love my life. But I still would not wish the extreme tiredness and the chronic fatigue, the sometimes inability to speak, and all of those things. I wouldn't wish those things on my worst enemy. I wouldn't. 14. There are people worse off than you. Absolutely. 100%. Absolutely. I said that before. This is not, absolutely not. MG is not the worst thing that could possibly have ever happened to me. There are so many things that are worse off, and I'm thankful that I have something that is not that severe. It's rare, and it is difficult to deal with, but it is not something so severe that I can't function. And I'm also very thankful that I can be as independent as I am. So yes, you're 100% right. When you come up to me and you tell me that there are people that are worse off than me, absolutely. There are so many people, even people with MG, that are worse off than me. Absolutely. I agree with you 100% on that one. The last one, I have not heard this at all, but the last one that's on this list is maybe if you lost some weight, you would feel better. Well, I've never had to worry about this except for the point when I was put on prednisone, which if you go back in my videos to about May, June-ish, when I was on the prednisone to treat the flare-up, it was very puffy in my face. That's the only thing that was going on there was the prednisone, and it was water retention. But I started hearing things, instead of hearing maybe if you lost weight, I started hearing a lot of, oh, you're putting on weight. It's water retention, but thanks for pointing it out. Like, do you want me to point out that you're putting on weight? So that's my number 15, is you're putting on weight. So for all of us who've ever been put on prednisone for anything, whether it's for MG, for any type of treatment, you're putting on weight. Well, thank you. Thank you for noticing. Next time I notice that you've put on a couple of pounds, maybe after Christmas, I'll make sure to point that out to you. See how you feel about it. You won't like it. I guarantee that. So, yeah. Now, I don't make this video to be a total jerk, and I don't make this video to completely just rant and all of that. I do make this video to bring some wisdom to you guys, because I think that with something that people that don't understand, such as MG, there's a lot of things that can be said. You know, those 15 things are great examples. People don't understand, so they just kind of speak without thinking. And I think as a society and, our culture, we just kind of, we lose that filter. And that's something that we really need to not lose. And I challenge all of you to just really think about what you're saying to people. Really think about what you're saying and how that can be interpreted and presented to them. Because I'm not saying we have to be 100% politically correct all the time, because quite frankly, walking around on eggshells all the time is exhausting. But certain things just don't need to be said. They don't. So I make this video to highlight those things that are incredibly, incredibly insensitive to somebody who is fighting battles every day that nobody has a business to fight, and nobody has a business to judge their, their fight for their struggle. So this video is also to support anyone who is struggling and who has heard these things. Hopefully you can get a laugh out of some of the things that were said, those 15 items, and my reaction to those 15 items. So if you got a laugh, then I did my job. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, never miss a dose of reality ever again. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I am Bree51687, and I would love to interact with you in those ways. Thank you so much for watching. I will be back on Friday for a TGIF video. I have an unboxing to do, so stick around for that. I'll see you then. Bye.